evening, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon if you're watching on the VOD. Welcome to Recovery Unplugged Live. What's up, Amy?
Lot of stuff.
Lot of
Can't
stuff.
get into the details too much, but first of all, we have 3 distribution deals with streaming platforms. That's Parables. These I can say: Parables TV, Real Women's Network, and Amazon Prime.
That's great.
And we just found out today, very early, we have limited theatrical distribution, but it's very, very, very limited. So, and I can't get into the details of it just yet, but probably in the next couple of broadcasts I can
be able to release that. Okay.
And I got notification that we got into the Louisville International Festival of Film. That's a film festival here in Louisville, Kentucky, and they're doing it virtually, which blows. But I don't like virtual. I would rather them postpone it and do a hybrid festival. But I'm kind of proud of us because they only accept like 14 or 15 feature films. So, and then they accept a ton of shorts and documentaries.
Okay. So what does that entail, being selected to that? Do they show the trailers? Do they do it live?
They I don't know what it's going to look like. They'll probably show the movies on a streaming platform, and there'll be an awards ceremony. As much as there can be one, they'll do awards announcements is what it really amounts to. My cat's gonna knock over my picture of us.
Like your camera?
No. This
Oh, that picture.
That picture. I don't want him to break it.
It's a wrap. Hey, better knocking over the picture than knocking over you. He could jump at your hair.
And we have a 4th distribution platform company who I reached out to. It's a connection from Indie Gathering. John E. was him and this individual were in MIT Play Labs, and that was like an entrepreneurial thing. I'm not saying it right, but only 3 projects were picked out of hundreds.
Wow.
And John and this other guy were 2 of the 3. So I got him to pay attention to me because John said, contact Simon Zoo. I said, okay. So things are rolling well on Letters to Daniel. Also, I can say this now. I'm in the process of developing the mission statement and grant writing skills. Someone's helping us to fund in full the One Night Only on Off-Broadway project.
Okay.
That is, we are putting on with Dell and My Purple Life, and then we're doing a stage adaptation of Letters to Daniel.
Right. So you're grant writing for that and doing what else?
Right now it's just grant writing.
Okay.
Because so the crowdfunding, we hit 2,000. I don't know if I said that last time I was here. We hit 2,000, which means I can do the pilot. And the grant writing will also fund a gala event where we launch that pilot in LA, and we'll do a dual in-person online, which G1NBC will be hosting the online portion. So
Woo! I'm excited. I'm excited for that.
And And there'll be for the online portion for people who can't get to LA and people who are afraid to travel. It would be we're guessing April. So people who might not be ready to travel post COVID just yet could do an online thing and get goodies like a bottle of champagne for their ticket, and they get to see the pilot and then, things like that. And our next project is the Guardian pilot television series.
Mm-hmm.
We would be filming that in Kentucky area, like we did Letters to Daniel.
Do you ever stop working?
No, but I also am working on a Guardian the feature film script. And I'm talking to another AOFer out in Oregon who offered to give us the run of his property, a cemetery, and a church if we wanted to. So
that's awesome.
And
that's super cool.
Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. That's
My goodness. So that's where we are, ladies and gentlemen. And she still takes time out once a week to do this show as well. And we have Anita Bergman on the line. Hey, Anita, how are you?
Good.
Thanks for coming on.
Oh, I'm excited to be here.
Are you?
I am.
Did she send you the questions in advance? No gotchas. What are you always telling me?
This ain't the Jerry Springer show.
Oh, okay.
Only when certain people are on it can devolve.
Maybe when Dell is hosting,
Shots fired.
No, he asks good questions. It's just that if you're not ready for them,
it'll get you.
Yeah,
it'll get you. It's more of the side comments that'll
Dell's side comments are great. I love his commentary.
All right, everyone. So let's watch the Letters to Daniel trailer, and we will be back. And Amy is going to be interviewing Anita.
Dear Daniel Craig, life did not always look like this. This marked a moment of triumph, a way of crushing an abysmal past and daring those with a stereotypical view of those with mental illness to challenge me on any front. To many, this was just a documentary. For me and Missy, this was our life.
It's like my skin is coming off. And my thoughts, they're racing so fast. I can't keep up.
I'm suffering too, you know. You're not the only one.
It's like my mind is coming apart and I can't get it to come together.
I think it's more than just that. Amy's been having a really hard time lately. She goes on these crying jags. She explodes without warning. She's so angry and so paranoid these days. She's not the happy Amy that I remember from Kentucky.
She thinks you're manic depressive. I, however, do not. I think this is something you've been obsessing on. I believe that it's all in your head.
Just come here. We're going to get you some help. I'll be okay. You do have a diagnosis. You have rapid cycling manic depression.
Dear Daniel Craig, bipolar disorder and those that saw it as contagious sought to pull me under, snap me in half, break me down. Even those well-intentioned do-gooders who see therapy and medication as bad and wrong, who see mentally ill individuals as hapless and hopeless, they're wrong. I found hope in your work. A comrade in Missy, my rock when no one else understood. You two are my twin lights when this disease threatened to take me down. And treatment was what got me through. Thank you, Daniel, for your talent and your work. Thank you for everything. Sincerely, Amy McCorkle.
Hey,
Hey there.
tonight we have a very special guest, a dear actress who brilliantly brought my Aunt Rosie to life in the feature film produced by Missy, directed by me, co-written by both of us, Letters to Daniel. You have acted in it, and of course she, let me give you her name, Anita Bergman. You have acted in a myriad of stage and film productions. What inspired you to become an actress?
You know, I think that most actors want to get into acting when they're young. We see TV and we start admiring actors and we dream that that's what we want to do. And I got my opportunity in high school. I started doing a little bit of theater there, and then got to do a little bit at the local churches. But I was very busy with raising my family and working, so I really didn't get to do much. And then in 2000, I think it was 2014, maybe actually 2009, a couple of little movies came to Cincinnati and I did some background and I was so excited. And then nothing happened again until about 2014 and Carol came. And again, I got accepted into that group and it was amazing. It was an amazing opportunity. And I really wasn't ready to take on speaking roles because it was just so big to me. You know, it was just it was just so exciting. And I felt very humbled by it, you know, but then I started doing local movies with the local independent directors and started getting a lot of speaking roles. And it just blossomed from there. It's been an amazing experience. And I feel so humbled that I feel like I'm so lucky that I'm getting these opportunities because I'm really at an age where they used to tell us women don't work after 50, you know, they're done. And I'm quite past that. So I'm just, you know, my concerns about never getting to act are completely blown away. So.
Cool. There were a lot of people on set from Ohio, like John and Brandon, and of course you. What was it like in getting to, what was it like getting to the set? And then what was it like acting opposite Megan and Jenny?
Well, the first question, you will remember I had two situations that were nightmares. And the one I can remember was getting stuck on the highway. And I know it was going to be like 2 hours late or something. And you had to rearrange your whole schedule that day to work it for us. And that was so wonderful of you to do that. I don't remember something else about a date. I don't remember what happened, but I just remember being stuck on that highway and thinking I'm going to pass out from nerves. I was so shook up. There was an accident and I was going nowhere. Working with Jenny and, oh no, I forgot her name now.
Megan.
Megan, sorry. I'm so sorry. Jenny and Megan, they are sweethearts. And I loved having that a little bit of time to talk to them in between scenes. And they're beautiful girls and they've achieved a lot. So I'm excited for their futures. I really am. So.
Okay. You are also a photographer.
Yes.
How did you get into that and what is it like for you now?
Well, I always enjoyed photography and that was another lifelong dream that just kind of I wound up getting to do. My first camera was just an Instamatic my girlfriend got me for Christmas because I wanted to photograph so bad. And then around just about a year after my son was born, I got a 35 millimeter and I was working at a company and I hit everybody up asking them questions. I drove them crazy. And then I started joining photography clubs and won some awards, actually won an award with Kodak. A picture was shown in 7 different cities, New York, and it went down to Disney World and Disneyland and was part of a group. It was very exciting. And then I went into weddings and portraits and had my own studio at home. And I think I did over 500 weddings. And so I really, I did it for almost 30 years. And that was all in Massachusetts. And when I moved back to Ohio, I said, okay, I need to do something else. And so I stopped doing photography, except for just for fun. I was using film back then. And then I went to digital. When I moved here, I just took pictures of I lived in an area called Eaton, which is very country. And I just took pictures of the cows and the pigs and the farms, and just for some, my own fun. And I don't miss it. I love taking pictures of things just for myself. But when I was doing it as weddings and as competitions, it was a wonderful time. And there's nothing more exciting than to be at somebody's happiest moment, to capture their happiest times. So I felt quite honored to do that. So.
What compelled you to audition for Letters to Daniel?
It sounded very interesting. I didn't know a whole lot about it, but what I did read, it influenced me. I really thought that I would like to work with you. I heard some wonderful things about you. A lot of people knew all about your book, and I thought, yeah, I need to go down there. And I actually auditioned for a different character. I don't remember which one it was for. Maybe the mother? I don't know.
The grandmother.
The grandmother. Okay. So, and you guys said, I think she'll be better for the aunt. So that was really wonderful. It was a wonderful surprise. So.
What is up next for you, acting and photography wise? You kind of already touched on that, but
yeah. Well, last October, I think I've told you, I got my first SAG movie. And yes. And that's called Dear Zoe. And it'll be coming out next year. I'm sure they kind of wanted to make sure it came out at, held it off a little bit. But that'll also be the 40th anniversary of the 9/11. And this book is about, or the story is about a young girl who loses her little sister on that same date, not because of 9/11, but on that date. So I think she has some crisis about that. And so I'm really hoping that once that comes out, that'll give me some other opportunities to do some more SAG. But if not, there is plenty in Ohio and Kentucky and, all the surrounding areas to continue doing local independent work. And I can't tell you how thankful I am that I get to do this, and how wonderful and supportive our actors and crew and directors are. I never imagined the love that goes on between each other. I mean, we have divas and we have little squabbles and stuff, but compared to other careers I've had, and I've done a lot of work in office work and a lot of different things. This is the one that you never have to worry about not having someone help you. There's always someone telling you, helping you, giving your name, saying, hey, you'll be great for this part. It's like, wow, thank you. That's so nice. So I will continue to do this, and hopefully keep trying to get into some more side movies to eventually become a member. I'd love to be a member of the union. That would be awesome.
Okay, so gonna pivot. Have you ever been directly or indirectly affected by mental illness?
I have not personally, but I have many friends that have been. And the only experience I can tell you is that I don't always recognize it. I think people are perfectly normal. And then, they eventually get help. They get into problems. And I always I didn't understand it for most of my life. I thought, what's wrong? Why? There's nothing wrong with this person. I have a girlfriend, for example, who had 19 nervous breakdowns, just like the song. And she seemed perfectly fine to me. I didn't see it. I never saw her having these breakdowns. And they actually she'd gone into a halfway house, and I don't think she ran away, but she walked away in the winter, and they took her and they locked her into what we used to have our institutions. and they had her handcuffed to the bed. I came to visit her and she was handcuffed to the bed. And I just thought, this is insanity. What? I don't understand any of this. She eventually did get some help, and she got married, and things worked out for her. But I haven't seen her in like 30 years, so I don't know what she's doing. But and then I have another friend who became very dependent on drugs because of her illness, and she was one of my best friends, and she just passed away last year because of all of the drugs that were in her system. But she carried, even though she became what's the word when you become clean, she still carried these characteristics. They didn't go away, so even though you become sober or you become clean, there's still these underlying things that can still drag you down. You have to work so hard to keep your mind, going well. And it's a hard thing. I that's all I know as far as something like that. What I've experienced is through friends who I love dearly and have seen them go through turmoil, but I still don't recognize they're normal to me. I love them and I see them for who they are, and I don't see illness in them in the same way other people do. I see quirks. I see,
Okay.
So.
Have you, when on set, at work, or in public, witnessed an individual in emotional distress or psychological distress? If so, how did you react and respond to it?
I have seen people in places like the New York subways, people on the street. That's pretty much where I've seen people have, emotional, mental issues. And there was one man that I remember very well that we were taking pictures in Boston, and he was sitting on some steps. He was in a red coat, a bright red coat, and he couldn't get up. And he was just sitting there, and I went over to talk to him. And we discussed some things. He told me about everything that was bad and what was hurting him and everything. And I had a friend who said, "You need to stay away. That's dangerous." And I was so angry at him because you have to reach out. These people need love. They need someone to talk to them and make them feel real, and I knew that. I'm a very compassionate person with empathy. And I really, I felt good, but it hurt too because I couldn't do more for him. I had to leave and I wasn't able to do anything. But he was, a homeless man that was definitely having a lot of, mental problems. And he loved that moment of feeling special, of getting to tell me all about himself. And so, but otherwise, I don't usually have many interactions with people on the street. When I was a photographer, I would photograph things, and occasionally there would be someone I photographed, and that would be someone I was a study that I really wanted to, not see, what's the word? I wanted to cherish, think about and remember. So, but.
Okay. Do you find when rehearsing for a play, it is a different mental preparation than for a film?
Yes, it definitely is. It definitely is. You're memorizing over and over again, and you have someone that works with you, and so it makes it a little easier to memorize. It's easier in the respect that you do a lot of rehearsing. You'll do like 2 or 3 weeks at a time every night for a couple of hours. So it's a lot more laborious. The outcome is not much different than a movie, though I think the movies are so much more fun. I think that when you're doing plays, it's great to have that gratification right away. But movies, I think it's scarier in a play because you've got all these people judging you. But when you're doing a movie, it's something that you can do quickly and say, okay, that didn't work. Let's do it again. And okay, we're going to take it. And they will take the best of your 5 attempts from far away, from close up, from the side, and so you never feel like, well, some people do, but I feel comfortable. They're going to get the best line I gave, so I don't have to worry. But a play is, you forget a line, you have to come up with something really quick, and it's a lot harder, I think. But the studying for it it's like you said, it's more laborious because you have to do it over and over and over again.
Okay. So let's have a little fun.
Okay.
If your life were a movie, what would the title be?
She lived it well.
Okay. And if you could cast any actress in the known cinematic universe, who would it be to play you?
I know who that is. Tilda Swinton.
Ah,
I love her, and she can be anything. She can play my cat, or she can play me. So it's she's awesome. I love Tilda. She's my favorite. I would give anything to meet her, like you with Daniel.
Yeah. You just have to answer the next question.
Yeah. Okay.
Who are some of your heroes, and have you met any of them, or would you like to meet any of them?
First person I really wanted to meet and I got to meet was Paula Poundstone. I don't know if you know, comedian.
I know. Yeah, I know who she is.
And I got to meet her and I really loved her. To tell you the truth, some of my favorite actors that are older now, I've gotten to meet on Facebook. So that's been an amazing experience. I know who else did I get to meet? Oh no, I can't think of his real name from Oingo Boingo.
Danny Elfman?
Yes, Danny Elfman. I love him. And so I didn't get to meet him, but I did, get to write him, and he wrote back. So that was neat. Stephen King and his assistant wrote back to me. Stephen didn't, but I did send him some pictures one time. And so that was kind of fun. But I'm sure I've met some people. I just can't think, because once you get into the movies, they all kind of like blur. It's not as
Tilda Swinton is the one that stands out for you.
Yeah.
Okay. What is your favorite movie of all time?
Okay.
To watch.
It's Midnight Cowboy.
Okay.
I love that one. Some other ones too, but I guess that will always be my go-to.
Okay. And finally, what piece of advice do you have for creatives out there struggling with mental illness and who are trying to find their place in the entertainment community?
Oof. I think I would give them the same advice I would give anyone, because I think someone like me I'm 70 years old and I'm still working and still expecting to be able to do more work. That's already an age thing. And I think that anyone who has any kind of stigmatism or issues that they feel are holding them back, it won't. I don't believe it will anymore. I think that the world is our oyster and things are changing. And it's not the same place it was in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, where especially women were treated like nothing, and we're definitely gaining, and it will be better soon, I believe. So I think they should just stay positive, never give up, never, ever, ever give up. Things happen. And I certainly sure didn't think that going over 30 years to wait to finally do a movie would happen. And it did. So, and take everything, whatever you see that's out there, take it and get experience. Don't say, I don't want to do this because it's beneath me. Nothing's beneath us. You learn from the ground up. That's the same for any job. But that's a really fun thing about being background, is you got to see everything. you get to see every part of that movie, how it's being made. And it's fascinating to know all the different jobs that everybody does that put it together, and how hard it is, and how long it takes, and how much money it is. So yeah,
Okay.
I'd say that.
Yeah. Okay.
I
John, do
like
you
the
have
title of your film that's named after you. She lived it well. And I appreciate the perspective, especially like you just said about coming into it late and still looking for work and anticipating work being done in the future. That's awesome.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. No questions tonight, Amy. That was a good
Okay.
interview. Yeah.
Had to wing your last 5 questions because
What happened?
I thought Stephen, whatever kept Stephen from being with us,
Hmm.
and I had 5 questions for him. And so I tried to think of what questions I've asked in the past.
Gotcha.
That seems to be.
No one knew. Not even Anita.
Nope.
Not even Anita.
All right. Good show, everyone. Anita, thanks for coming on.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. We'll talk to everybody next Monday. Who's up next Monday?
Jessica McHugh.
All right. Sounds good. We look forward to that. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We broadcast live on Amy Unplugged's Facebook page, and we broadcast live on my Vim broadcasting account on the Hive blockchain, as well as YouTube for Juneau and NBC Cuyahoga County. So we will see you all next week.